to another edition of If You Asked Jimmy Interviews. If You Asked Jimmy Interviews is what democratizes the microphone right here on If You Ask Jimmy, where we give opportunity to our community, opportunity to our best of best, opportunity to all of who we are to diversify opinions, to rub minds, and to make sure that we are having conversations that can take us from where we are to where we ought to be. Today, we are having already in our studios someone who you will be happy to have watched them talking to us because of the gold and everything they're going to be dropping for us. I'm excited to have Mr. Dipo Akonji as our guest today on If You Ask Jimmy live interviews on this channel. Let me tell you a little bit about our guest today. Our guest, Mr. Dipo Akonji, is the MD CEO of Entrust Insurance and Financial Services, Dallas, Texas, and also the managing director of Frontliners Autos. I will limit it to that because he has more than that to himself. He was a master's degree in finance and risk management from the University of Missouri, Columbia. He also has a background in agricultural economics and animal science, coming out with honors as an honors student and featuring on the dean's list. He moved to America about like 19 years ago, sir, right?
Yeah, kind of right. Thank you, sir. Kind of right. 2014, no, 2026. Sorry,
2006. Yes, that's 19 years ago. All right. And he, before moving on to start his own independent insurance agency in 2014, he had a professional career with American Insurance Group, AIG, Small Business Administration, SBA, and also worked with Amazon. Currently, is a private consultant. His private practice and consultancy company focuses on auto, home, life, and health insurance categories. He's also into commercial insurance, tax, payroll services, and is also a professional mortgage loan originator. He has knowledge with finance and risk analysis, insurance focus, and also handles retirement planning, tax analysis, mortgage processes, immigration issues around immigration and government services. That's so long for an introduction, right? Welcome, Mr. Dipo Akonji.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. It's a great honor to be on your program today. And I hope your listener and follower will have a wonderful day today to learn good stuff from our conversation. And thank you for the introduction.
Absolutely. I needed to roll out that much. I should have edited it, but I rolled out that much for a reason. Because when you have so many aspects to a single individual, then, all those credentials and taking them into private practice, it's a whole lot. Tell us, how has it been? Because if there's anyone in this Dallas, Texas who does not know Mr. Dipo, that's what they call you. That's what most people call you. Probably that person is new.
Thank you.
How did you become such a household name?
As I said before, it's a great honor being on your program. So, household name. I thank God for where I am today. Everything that I'm able to do, I think God has been orchestrated my plan, my journey. So it's been from college. I moved to the United States, as you said, in 2006, and I moved during the economy downturn in 2008. I think it was 2009. No, 9. I went back to school to do my master's. So when I finished the school, I moved to Dallas. So moving to Dallas, I found like it's a big city and a lot of stuff to do in Dallas. So I met a couple of people along the way, and they kind of guide me through the process. So to go into something that I feel like people does not even interested in doing in the first place. That is insurance. Most Africans not really believe in insurance. They want something they're going to benefit right now instead of the future. So, but I met someone along the line during the career looking for a job. And the person asked me one thing to go into my contact and go and find people that I know. So in my contact, I try to do that. And at the end of the day, you bring it down to a basic like for you to be successful in this business, you need people that are not acquainted. So that means you do not have enough people in your contact. And that challenged me to be able to get to this level. You need to find somebody in a key area to align yourself with. So I key into that. And that's how I put myself in that position to be able to get this number of people knowing me today. So by providing a solution to their needs, providing a solution to their want. Anything they ask, I will find information for you. And I believe that's the reason why people know me.
It's amazing. It's really amazing because I'm sure people who are watching currently on live and who will be watching this recording, especially in Dallas area, a lot of Nigerians will give anything to be in your place because, not everybody is a 9 to 5 person. Most people would like to have a business of their own and, coming to your office, your previous office to your current office and the growth of the business of your consulting and the solutions you provide. I mean, a lot of people will give anything to be in your shoes. Like, okay, if only I can be on my own like this person. Right. So how are you able to grow your community outside Nigerian community because you consult for even how will I put it, African community, Asian community, global, all the rainbow that America is from all destinations or from all cultures and races. How are you able to grow your clientele?
I thank you for that. I think it is, to me, is understanding of what you're trying to achieve. So when I start my business started because I feel like I have something I need to give back to the society. I have some information that I feel like people don't have. I have so many ways to guide people through the process of life, what they're going through. So my focus when I was starting the business was not about my remuneration or my financial comfort or what I'm trying to gain. So my thing is just to provide a service that everybody can key into. Everybody have the same situation. Everybody buys life insurance. Most people need life insurance, auto insurance. Taxes affect everybody. So I set out that basis, like my business is going to be catered to everybody that needs what I'm doing. So I did not start out to try to move towards certain racial demographic or positions, certain people in the society. I just set out to be able to provide service to everybody out there that need what kind of thing I'm doing. And that's why I set the standard to follow the principle of doing a business, especially when it comes to financial services and insurance and taxes. There's always a standard. And that standard, I don't want to go below it. Just maintain that standard so that everybody can fit into it. I think that is what drives me to be able to have clientele, I should say, different demographic, different races.
Amazing. How are you able to combine that? I remember when I first met you, I think like how many years ago now? 2017. That was the time
2017, yeah. It's quite a long time.
It's been some time, yeah.
I had a good relationship during that.
Absolutely. I think I came for something like my car insurance, and later you were the one that handled, health insurance for me, and also some solutions towards auto. You sell cars, you help with a car reg. That's why I said if there's anybody, especially the West African to African community who don't know you, probably they are new because your path would have crossed one way or the other. Register cars, you do auto insurance, health insurance, you handle healthcare marketplace. In fact, it was later I realized that you handle for homes as well, and all those things. You're currently into the mortgage area. How are you able to grow all of those skills? Because yes, you have a master's in finance, and there are many people around. There are many people around who have such degrees. You have a master's in finance and risk management. How were you able to diversify? Because the time I stepped into your office, you were even handling overseas admissions like that. I think you were focused mainly on what do they call it now?
Yeah,
Students.
student visa.
Yeah, you were consulting, guiding people through all of those. Now, immigration related issues,
Yeah.
insurance, tax,
Mhm.
one-stop shop. I mean, what else? The only thing we are not finding in your office is grocery.
You know, it's funny the way you say it. You know, the thing around that is this. You know, I've come across so many people, different level, different knowledge, different status. And one thing that always stand out is like people get wrong information.
People
And
get wrong information.
wrong information. They are passed through the process of meeting people along the line that are giving them a wrong advice.
Hmm,
They have not been able to get the right information to be able to have guide them through the process.
hmm,
The thing that is supposed to do for a year, you end up doing for 3 years or 5 years.
hmm,
So during that process, even though my core business is insurance, tax, but along the line, I think it started from my college. It's a small thing I would say. We always have this together African playing soccer on the field. So every time we're playing, and at the moment in time you pass the ball, you find out the person you're passing the ball to on the field is already disappeared. And you ask yourself, why the person is no more on the field? So I found out like a majority of people don't have the papers. When they see the police car pass by, they just pick race. So that kind of prompted me to start figuring out why are people in the US with no papers? Because I do not understand really, because I didn't get here with no paper, I got here with the paper. So I tried to figure out why. Then I look at the process, I found like, man, there's a lot of stuff to do. So that gave me that knowledge. So when people come to my office and say something about this, I quickly jump in.
hmm,
What are you doing? Why are you doing it this way? You should have done it this way. Then they ask me, how do you know all this? The information is right there. It's just for people that want to gather knowledge to read and get the information. But I see myself as somebody that able to help people out. I don't ask people to go and read all this stuff. I
hmm,
have the knowledge. I'm able to sort it out and give it to people, not
hmm,
even charging for it, but just to help. If you my client, if I'm doing something for you, why you buy insurance for me, and I find out that you have some other situation in your life that's kind of challenging, and you need the guidance or anything, and I have the information or knowledge or how to do it, I will be happy to, give it or do it. And
hmm.
that's what I've been doing. And I think probably that might be the reason why you said my name is known with
Household name.
all this information out there. If everybody will mention something, they say, oh, have you called Mr. Dipo? Ask him, he's going to know it. Call him, he's going to find you information. He's going to, it's not bragging, but it's what I've already prepared for it. It's a deliberate action. It's also part of who I am too. It's my instinct, it's my personality, it's who I am. So it's what I know best to do. And it can't go away, It's no way it's gonna go away. It's
Abs-
gonna keep getting better and better.
Absolutely. I know that you are very big on helping people. And as at the time I met you, that's 2017.
17, yeah.
Yeah, I know that you already had, well-established office at the heart of Dallas City. You know,
Mhm.
um, some of us that were just not too long in America, maybe a year or two around that time,
Mhm. Mhm.
be wondering, this guy has office. It's get that kind of thing. I know there are many businesses, there are many, private businesses are owned by
Mhm.
Africans here, very big concerns,
Mhm.
groceries, boutiques,
Mhm.
healthcare practice. I mean, we
Mhm.
are really
Yeah, yeah, you're
represented.
right.
Yeah,
Right.
we are represented, maybe not as loud as we should be. So,
Mhm.
but you'll see, you had a well-established office, we know how much we pay for rent in our homes. Then you wonder, this is directly at that time, opposite one of the biggest Walmart stores. You see,
Yeah,
in the in fact, the complex, your office complex is at the place, that's the heart of, Dallas South.
you're right. That,
Right.
yeah.
So you had some backup staff at that time, but um, wasn't it overwhelming with the kind of services that you were rendering to people then, especially because you know the population of Nigerians. To see you that time, if someone doesn't have patience, that person, I mean, might leave and have to come back another day. And your phone is always buzzing and everything. How do you hold those together, as with all the various services that you rendered? Is everybody satisfied, or some people are, we like to just walk in to just see somebody. We don't need to fill a form. We know you personally. We are speaking the same language, and how are you able to handle that?
I mean, it's funny that this conversation is coming back right now, because I believe that might be the only thing. If you ask anybody that knows me, the only thing I would feel like they will say is this: "Oh, is this tough to get Mr. Debo? You cannot get him. You call him, he's not going to call you back. Oh, you will be in the office sometime, you will find a crowd. Oh, I know, I'm aware of that. And I've tried my best to be able to. But the thing is this, I keep telling people like that, we are human. There is a limit of what we can all do. There is a limit. But the satisfaction is this: if I'm able to get somebody off whatever their trouble or their stress or whatever it is that they are going through, I'm able to offer that help to that person and get off. I'm much satisfied. I feel fulfilled that day. Even though 10 people want to see me, I'm able to see 2. I'm more fulfilled because the person get the result. Whoever is concerned has the result. The rest, we also get the result. It's just a matter of time. But the point is this: I'm limited. But at the same time, our people, sometimes we have this feeling like, I have issue now. Now that I realize I have an issue, I want the person to help me now. Not minding what that person is doing or is going through, or maybe somebody's ahead of you or stuff. I've seen people that walk into my office, literally, and they'll be talking over my client sitting in front of me.
Wow.
Sometimes I have to have a conversation of mine. This is not a Dugbe market. This is not where you just stretch your hand over the other customer, give me that. There is an office setting. There is always a protocol. And those things, to me, is about discipline and being patient and being orderly. This always takes me back to our country, to look at the way things are doing in our country. It's a reflection of who you are. Whatever the society look like is actually the people that cause the society to look like that. So what we're doing here, to me, I've put it back, I look at it like, if you're doing it this way in a society that is orderly and straightforward, how much more what you do back in a place that is disorder? So as much as I try to attend to it, there's also one thing I came up with at that time, trying to make people make an appointment. I know people that complain about that. Why would I make an appointment to see you? I was like, it's just to make things order, to give time to everybody, not just because somebody's sitting down in front of me, take all the time. But our mentality, or what we call it, culture or style of doing things, like, I need that thing now, I want to get it now. I don't want to care about who is there. I don't want to follow the protocol or the procedure. All I need is I want it now, and I want the person to do it, which not always workable. It's not the right thing to do. But I'm able to navigate all those processes. Today, I'm still getting more people coming and keep asking stuff. But it's good.
So it might be possible that some people got frustrated in the process because they feel like they have a relationship with you and they can walk past your receptionist straight into your office and get attention. Like you said, they talk over, some others who are there. Let me ask you, what has your experience been, especially in the aspect of documentation? I know you are not a lawyer, and I know that you usually refer people to the professionals, but there are people you have given a listening ear, and you have collaboration with some legal practitioners. When the immigration thing, I believe, is just a very small part of what you do, but I want to bring that conversation in. I'm not talking to you as an immigration lawyer right now, because I know I've had encounter with you before, and then I see how you refer people to lawyers to handle that. But in your everyday conversation with people, you talked about, people trying to get away from any environment. Maybe if they see police vehicle approaching, they will run off the playing field or football field, and they're always panicky and all those kind of things. People jackpot here. You said you came in here with proper documentation, but not many of us did, only a very few percentage. And remember that as far back as 2014, 2015, I can't remember exactly, the visa lottery process or program, which allowed a lot of our people to come in, was already stopped for Nigeria, even though it was active for some other African countries.
Yeah,
right. So what are the issues that you can readily remember that makes our people, like you said, they have the wrong information? Can you elaborate on that? And what does that do to people in the process? Or how does it, how do I situate this question? Because the process here, I don't know, is it so tough? Or is just that, like you said, people have, I don't want to preempt you.
Yeah.
What exactly are the issues? What exactly are the issues?
I mean, I kind of identify like 2 or 3 different issues that probably creating this mess for people along the line. Okay, so this is the thing. Most people that are working here, I mean, that I've met along the line, along the way, when they came into the United States, they relocated to the United States. So from the conversation I had with them, I found out like from the beginning of their process, I mean, back home in Nigeria, they are already been misinformed about the thing that happened in the US. So they got, first of all, got a wrong impression about the situation of things in the US. Now, getting here, they have somebody else that continued to be deceiving or misleading them. Now, when I say they got the wrong information, is like when you are applying for a certain visas, there are conditions, there are process, there are things about attached to those visas. So giving people a kind of a assurance, like when you get to the US, everything is going to be fine, okay, with what you have as a visa. It's a wrong impression. So people went out and sold their house, sold their car. They are working well in Nigeria. Yeah, they are working very well in Nigeria. They end up resigning from a very good job, hoping that they're going to get better stuff here. Whereas the person is not advising them like, you're going to lose everything you have built over the years in Nigeria and go and start all over again in the US, especially at the age you are coming. That agent is not advising, telling them that. He's not telling them like, if you come here with this kind of a visa you're coming with, you are not allowed to work. You are not. The law does not allow you to work on a visiting visa. Why everybody is telling them like, you get a job? Just for you to be able to pay 1 million naira or 2 million to be able to do your paperwork and get you iPhone or do whatever it is. Now getting here, you made your friend. Some people even disappear. Those friends you are talking to in Nigeria before you left, by the time you told them like, tell them like, oh, I bought my ticket, I'm going to fly tomorrow, their phone is not going to ring again. That's it. So you're coming into a society that you know nobody.
Wow.
So now coming here again, you met your fellow Nigerian or African, whoever is here, they are already in that situation and see that you are coming with a lot of money. What would they do? They will keep lying to you to keep make sure that all the money you spend, you wasted the money. After all said and done, you will now start finding out the process. So what I find is like we deliberate. I don't know. Okay, let me take it back. I might not say deliberate, but I find like it's our style. I don't know the reason for that. To make sure that my brother go through the same struggle, the same stress I pass through. I don't know why we're doing that, because that's what I can say. Because whoever is advising you at that time probably know what it is, or also he also getting a wrong information for somebody else, because somebody is passing this malign information, wrong situation, passing along to people to make them go through something they shouldn't have started in the first place.
Wow.
So those things I find out. Now, coming back now, finding out, I don't want to be at that call like I am talking bad about lawyers. So I will kind of restrain myself from that because I know we're online. So, but I've seen a lot of documents being messed up by the same people that we call professionals. that are
Lawyers that are
helping.
supposed to be their saving grace to guide them.
Yes, to guide them. They have been messed up their document, asking them to do something they would never be able to defend or even raise their hand and say, oh, I asked my client to do this. Somebody asking your client to sign a document for somebody else. I mean, why would a professional be asking someone to do that? When you know, if they find out, it's going to be a great consequence, serious consequence for that action. So what I'm saying is like, I've seen document asking for A, people will present B, they will ask you for D and C, they will answer wrongly. And I'll ask myself, but I have someone, he's also went to the same school in Missouri. He studied here, he's from another African country. So one time we're having this discussion and I asked him like, why everybody is doing document immigration stuff? And he said, majority of our people here that don't actually go to school in the US cannot go to the American court and practice. They don't have that confidence or tenacity or knowledge to go and practice regular litigation in the court. The only thing they can do to survive is to be doing immigration document, because that is a federal territory. It's not a state issue. You can do immigration document anywhere in the United States. It doesn't matter where you call to bar. It can be called to bar in Texas, and you'll be handing document for people because it's a federal law. It's not a state litigation. So now I understand why these people will do all that. Another thing I found out is this. Some will know for sure, like when they call you for interview, they're not going to go with you. They will come up with excuse. Oh, that's when they will remember they have to they go to game with my children or go to with my
professional child.
So all these things I see as an error or trouble for our people. Now, I also go back to our people too. When you are trying to cut corners, trying to change or do things not in a normal way, that's when you get into these people's hand like this. Because by the time you are trying to do something that is not professional, then you end up getting into the hand of people that end up, I won't call dupe you, but misinform you to go different route that you keep spending money until finally you find out like you have been on a wrong route for a long time. No, and all those things cost the time. You say it's money. All the time you wasted and the money resources you wasted, it's a lot. It's a lot for people to bear. So I've seen all that. So trying to now help people out is when, a lot of people have advised to do something and they see the result. I'm not a lawyer. I never call myself a lawyer, but it's come from experience. It's come from experience. Why is the voice gone?
All right, sorry. I didn't know that we're going to go deep into immigration issues like this because that's not your major focus. You're just on the advisory side, and usually, even though you're talking about people being misguided, definitely you actually use professional services. I don't want to forget this question. There's something that amazes me about you, and it's the fact that you are a great collaborator. When you were in your previous office, which was just a suit in probably one of the biggest, if not, I don't know if I can't, I don't want to mention the name. That particular, complex, that particular building, I researched it because they have someone like that also in Walnut Street, right? So I researched the history of it, and I think that those are property people that had foresight about properties, and their properties are usually the biggest anywhere. So yours was the biggest in the heart of Dallas. In the first place, you didn't feel intimidated going to get an office in such a prime location? And also, talking about collaboration, I see that at that time, you do assist people, some other people, professionals come around to just shunt. And eventually, God grew your business more. In less than 10 years, you are able to have a location that is just also another prime location in a commercial area of town where you have a whole building of several offices, like 4 or 5 offices within that, owned by your company. That kind of thing. And I see you also supporting other businesses within your, accommodating them and helping them, being a kind of collaborator and facilitator of their business growth. Because I saw all these things happen from empty building being occupied by yourself to supporting other businesses and allowing them to even, advertise their businesses.
Yeah.
Not everybody can do that. How are you able to survive, especially, some of our people, it's not because they are not kind, but they are very, very skeptical and cautious about allowing people around them. But you seem to be a people person that can accommodate it. How are you able to do that? To support other
No,
businesses, other individuals?
the thing is, there was a time I was having a discussion. I think I said it probably in a church or somewhere, having a seminar, something, somehow. And I said, like, one thing I give to the society I am today is like, there is orderliness and there is a process for doing things. It's easier to do things in America as long as we put ourselves together to do it. We have all the resources to do it. There's the resources everywhere to do things. I've said it before, like, I can do business with anybody. I don't have to know you. I don't have to know you. As long as what you are doing is something that aligns with my interest and my purpose. I have the same feeling about what you're trying to do. I don't have to know you because the American process is already been streamlined to guide, to protect you if you do it right. And I said it before too, like, if anybody, I have the feeling I cannot do business with my fellow African brother, usually Nigerian. That means that person himself is winning. He's somebody that is ready to either destroy the partnership, or the one that want to steal or take from you. That's why he's not willing to do. He's scared of doing business with you. I said it because if I have $50,000 that I want to invest, and you have 50,000 you want to invest, if you put it together and invest, all we are doing is like, we are taking the opportunity of our resources to maximize it for our own benefit for more profit. Instead of me carrying the risk 100%, we are sharing the risk, we are sharing the responsibility to be able to gain more. So now, if I feel like I'm not going to be able to invest with you, thinking like, you're going to take away my $50,000, that means me too, I have the same intention of doing that. Because the process of starting up a business in America is very easy and strong that will protect you. That being said, there are a lot of people out there that have things to do in their mind. They only need the opportunity to be able to do it. I said it, yeah, I help people out, I collaborate, I work with not just Nigerian or African, I work with
Yes. You
everybody.
work with
I even work with other
Asians,
people, the Mexican,
white
the
people,
white,
Latino,
there was one lawyer on
Asians,
75
Arabs.
highway. One time the guy want to do a 19, I mean, test identification number for one of his clients in either in Portugal or I know it's outside the US. He found me and the guy came to my office. And since that day, we've been collaborating. Anytime you have a client, I will do. So I collaborate with everybody. And I also, as you said, it's just me to see other people grow. It's not taking away my client. It's not like taking anything away from me. This society, this where we are is big enough. There are a lot. How many millions? 300,000 Americans. So it's not taking it away from me.
Right.
But I want everybody to grow, to be able to establish themselves in this
Awesome.
in this society.
Awesome. Yeah, just like the African proverb that says the sky is big enough for all birds to fly without, hitting their wings, unhindered. That will lead me to ask a writer to that question. Yeah, I see you collaborating with Arabs. There were sometimes I needed something to do something. You gave me a number to call someone up. You happen to be a Persian. I've seen Latinos. You even sublet part of your office complex to people, Hispanics. I have seen, white people dealing with you and all of those things. And yeah, in fact, I don't see any part of the globe that is not represented in your collaboration because I relate with you a little bit closely. The rider to my question is in
Okay.
helping our people.
Mm-hmm.
Um, have you ever gotten, I don't know, I don't want to be preemptive. What's your experience like? Do you get your fingers burned sometimes? Do you experience
Mm-hmm.
ingratitude? Because let me tell you what I heard from Grapevine. Let me say this.
Okay.
Yeah, because someone introduced me to you anyway. And
Mm-hmm.
over time, just like you said, because our people are not orderly sometimes, with due regards to us, some of us, do not have that attitude of working, dealing with somebody corporately. I remember how many times you had to change your personal phone number, how even though you had an office line, people would prefer to call you direct, call you at midnight. I don't even know how your wife has been coping with that. And then you have been, from the one I know you have a receptionist, but even me, I think I'm guilty of that initially. I would definitely call your private line instead of calling your office line just because I have that access until sometimes I realize that I have to go through the front office. So let me not be like holier than thou. And some people get frustrated because you're not talking business with them. You have a website, your address is on Google. I see your emails, your auto-generated emails,
Mm-hmm.
reminders.
Yeah.
Everything
Everything.
is you are fully set up online. But even there's a question they use a phone question that will you rather chat with someone or support service, customer service, or will you talk to them? I prefer to talk. Okay, that's
Yeah.
the way some people prefer to come see you in person than doing things online. That's why
Mm-hmm.
they prefer to. Our people they do different shifts.
Yeah.
And some people want to go to work, they want to get to see you on the way to work, or after work they come, they sleep, and there's no time for them throughout, and you don't work on
Yeah.
Sunday. So I fully understand. So my question is this: have you gotten? What's your experience like? Yeah, I got some feedback at the point in time, like okay, like what you said is not accessible, is this and that, just because everybody wants that personal touch, not like dealing with a person who has a corporate setup. They don't want to deal with that.
Mm-hmm.
In supporting businesses, in supporting others, in
Mm-hmm.
collaborating and helping our community, because I am a witness to what you are doing in community. What's your experience like? Have you gotten your fingers burnt? Have you gotten yourself into trouble
You
sometimes?
know,
How do you handle the frustration? That question.
one thing that makes a man, to me, for my own philosophy, is like how much of those disappointment, unfortunate situation, everything that doesn't work, how much of it can you take? Can you take as
Handle.
part of the process to build you, to make you who you are? Do you have the backbone, the tenacity, the capacity, or to carry all those stuff? Because it's going to come. It's going to come. There is no way it's not going to come. If you still want to be relevant in what you're doing, no matter what kind of business you're doing, small, big, even in a personal relationship, it's going to come. Do you have that personality, that process to absorb all those? Now, when you are absorbing it, it's for you to re-examine yourself, to recondition, reprocess yourself. Why? Should you continue doing this with these people, or you need to drop it? You need to refine tune or reprocess yourself. So all these things you're saying, yeah, I've encountered my share. There are still some I'm still going through right now that probably you are aware of. So there are still some I'm still going through right now. I'm still trying to resolve right now. Now, what causes it? It's just me helping people out, go do it, I give my account, go buy this, go that, go pay. At the end of the day, I don't know what's going on. It messed me up, but that does not kill me or destroy me. It's just lesson to learn. And that's why I always tell people, if you cannot take 10% of what they call it now, misfortune or loss or disappointment in business, don't start to say you want to own a business. Just be doing your clock in, clock out, and move on, and be guaranteed your paycheck is coming and you know it's fixed on that. But if you want to improve yourself, you must also put percentage down, like people that you think they are close to you, you trust so much, they're going to disappoint you. Are you going to take it out of them? Me, that's my life. I'm not going to kill nobody. because mistake, error will come. Where it's coming from is what I don't know, but I know it's going to come. Whether it's coming from one I know, or it's coming from people I don't know, or whatever is coming, I know it's coming. Now, do I have a process to carry on? So I need my mental sanity. I want to be focused. I don't want to be disturbed or have blood pressure or worry or then close down what I've built for over a year. So I already prepare for all that. So that's why you will see me sometimes where I thought when things come, I will say, don't worry, I'll figure it out. The way we come around, I will move on. That thing will happen, I will move on. So people have done a lot of stuff they want to do. I'm not going to be mentioning names or anybody does, but everybody have done. Some people, but I think I should mention that one. Maybe the person will be listening. Trying to help. You get a car from me, a car that worth $15,000. Try to do a finance. We actually started the process of the financing. But along the line, the guy is in Atlanta. I shipped the car to the Atlanta, Georgia. Not knowing like the transaction is going to be reversed by the bank. The bank reversed the transaction. The guy come and pay me the money. He said he's going to be paying 1,000. He only paid twice or 3 times up to today. Over 2 years, the person is still owing me what? $8,000. He hasn't paid. He even wrecked the car. He collect money from insurance. He never paid me for the car. You know how bad people are, how callous people are. But that doesn't stop me from continue doing what I do best doing. That doesn't stop me. But
okay, does that mean you have to stick to the business rules? You have to stick to the terms and conditions? Because it's like, did you allow your personality to cross over to your business side, especially when you said things are easy to do in America, and that because everything is structured, how much of backlash have you, is it backlash right now? How much of regrets have you had trying to step out of line and, you know, not keeping to the T&C on your own side, you know, which could have prevented some things from happening? You know, because in our own culture, they say that, I don't know how to translate it directly, that it is when the eyes see the eyes have pity on the eyes. So just that kind of compassion. I mean, I'd like you to answer that briefly. We have a lot on our hands, but is it that you two, because of your nature, you did not, you know, just follow?
I mean, I would take that. I think when I started my business, most things carry on like that. My nature kind of influenced my business, so all my processes was not addressed to the latter. So I kind of try to, and I know all that happen with most businesses that start off for the first time. You kind of want to build your business, so many things you're going to put a lack on it. So, but because a lot of stuff happen along the line, that somebody that did insurance, they always pay me for insurance sometime when I'm not in the office. They'll see me somewhere. They always like, can I pay my insurance fee now? I'll say, yeah, I'll help you when I get to the office.
People want to pay insurance fee like
yeah, they'll see me somewhere that is not in the office. They will say, oh, since I see you here, okay, let me just pay because I will not be available tomorrow. Okay, I will say, oh, yeah, don't worry, give me, I will help you pay. At the end of the day, something will happen along the line. It will not turn like insurance denying the claim because non-payment. And I say, oh, I'll pay Mr. Dipo, so. I mean, I know one insurance company that kind of canceled the appointment because of that. Because I'll do what I just said. I lost that company up to today. I never get it back. And those are one of the good companies that I could like keep for a very long time. I mean, so the thing I'm saying is like a backlash, processing, but as much as I'm trying to make people understand, like, it's not me. It's about the process.
Right. So you learned your lessons along the way, in short. All right. Yeah, because I was part of the reasons why we're able to connect easily, because I was also a financial consultant in Nigeria, an investment advisor and portfolio manager, or working closely with financial securities company, in investment and securities company. And I got licensed by the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers of Nigeria, which enabled me to set up my private practice before I moved into other things that time. All right. So when we talk about finance, yeah, you know, we're able to get it off the ground. We even thought we were going to do some collabo, but my own
Yeah,
brain
you
is
said
not
that.
my
Still
I
working
don't
on it.
no, your level is too high for me.
I'm still working on it. Don't worry.
Some of those things are anyway. So I have a different passion, and at least I migrated to something different because I had to look for my alignment in America, setting up a private practice in America and sustaining it was not going to be that thing for me because I was able to build a very strong clientele in Nigeria. Within 2 years, I built a clientele of over 500 and of my own
Okay.
personal consulting, collaborating with bigger investment companies. But I look at handling individuals. Am I a people person in America? Am I
You
going to
are,
deal
right?
with this? And all those, how to navigate it. Let me get to this question. To Jackpa, I've not got into tax now. I've not got into
Ah,
insurance. I've not got
okay.
into
You are still
insurance.
going,
I've not
you
got
still
into
going,
mortgage. I've
you
not
still
got
going
into
somewhere.
mortgage.
I
All
mean,
right.
those anyway,
Yeah.
we do another
So
section.
yeah. Okay. I'll try and pack them in. You can give me, moderate short answers. To
Okay.
Japa or not to Japa? Right now, what will you be saying to somebody? Yeah. I mean, at this time that the whole of Nigeria wants to just leave, a lot of people want to leave. What will you be saying to someone who is the only
I know I've said this before, and I know what I get back from my people back home. So I mean, my people, my people know me when it comes to the issue of Japa, or I wouldn't say Japa alone. When it comes to some decision, some strategic decision in life, I always let people look at the prospect of where you're going. Do you actually know where you're going? Do you really evaluate and you know it? Is it because the name called America or UK or whatever it is, you just feel like your country is bad, you don't get away? And anytime I make that statement, it always come back like, why are you in America? Why do you are you in America? I mean, if I go back to the way I came to the US, it wasn't the same way people are rushing to leave now. I was telling someone like, if I will use my brother as an example. My brother is in Nigeria. So many times I ask him to come, even though right now it's mixed feeling, but he's somebody that probably will share the same thing. He's not even willing to leave the country. You just feel like there is life, but he's doing fine anyway. But as tough as it is, so the question is, Japa or no Japa? You have to evaluate where you're going. Then put where you're going onto where you have right now. Don't just listen to what people are saying or the news right there or friend or cousin, because I know some family member that have given me so many information about friends that have been in the US. And when they tell me that story, I will tell them, you sure it's true? You sure the guy is not just telling you story that they want you to hear? Is it truly the state real stuff that's going on? They're telling you somebody on visiting visa tell you like he's working, he's fine, he's doing this. Really? You think they can work? No, they're not telling you this true story or what's going on. So Japa, I'm not going to tell people not to Japa, but I believe the thing that is chasing you from where you are to another country is not the same. It's tougher where you're going. You think it's easy? It's much, much tougher than where you are. Because where you are right now is what you know. It's your comfort zone. No matter how tough it's there, that is your comfort zone, the reliable place. Where you're going is unknown. All those
mm,
promises is just fake. It's just fluke. They can disappear. People that promise you I will accommodate you, they can change overnight and say, get out of my house. People that promise you this, they can decide not to give you because you are going to unknown land. But as I said, you have to evaluate real well where you're going before you take a journey of Japa.
awesome?
That's the way I
Awesome.
would say it. I won't go elaborate much on it. I'll just leave
Awesome.
it like that.
That leads me, thank you, sir. That leads me to the next question. I did a video on Nigerians are too snobbish. They don't pick their calls. It was just like I was being satirical because is it satire or
Oh,
paradox now? It's not what I meant. It's not that Nigerians are so snobbish, but that's the perception of people at home. They don't pick their calls, they don't talk to you, they don't respond, they don't do this. I want you to marry that one with this question. The entitlement mentality, the black tax, and the fact that people believe that once you cross the border, you are made and you should be able to carry everybody's burden. You've been here almost 2 decades. I'm here, I mean, less time than you.
Mhm.
What's your experience with that?
I- oh, I have one feeling about that. Number one, see, when I move here, I think I have the same, I think it's a cultural thing that probably we didn't put our mind to in Nigeria. This entitlement thing. I will start with that one first. I think it's a cultural thing. It thing like when, let's say myself now, I go out with my uncle or my dad everywhere we go and eat somewhere. All of us we expect my uncle to pay,
Or you
right?
meet in
We
transportation to pay your
yeah, we
transportation.
prioritization because we look at it like if I offer to pay, it look like a disrespect
Insults.
or affront to my seniors. That's where we look at it. So we carry that thing to everywhere we go. Like I have my own stuff, but I want somebody else to be doing it for me. That's where I see this life of entitlement. Like, oh, somebody should just do it. Is they cause for no reason, just do it, give it to me. I expect them to give it to me. And all those stuff, when I got to the US, it was the same my uncle that sat me down and tell me like, Diego, this lifestyle is a cultural thing, stuff that we live in. You are in a different society where they do not look at that. And when you make me reason, I listen myself like, that makes sense. Why should I be making money and asking somebody else to be paying my bills? Why should I be living in a house and I will not feel to pay for to share in the rent? Because what? My uncle owns the house, you'll be paying. You will buy the food in the house, you buy food. Me, I will with my money put in my pocket. So that's time. You see how that thing can translate from just personal thing to a bigger stuff. And that takes us again into the society, into environment that we are. You know, things that I think like Nigerians or African or whatever it is, this entitlement thing is more or less giving us, not making us have so much ability to move ahead because we could have demand for better things, not entitlement, but to work for better things. Because if you work and you invest and you do more, that will expand what you have instead of waiting for someone to do it for you and just think like I'm entitled to it. It's my right. But that is not your right. You don't claim things to be your right if you don't work for it. You need to work to earn it, not just sit down there and be waiting for somebody doing it for you.
Awesome.
I think you asked something else. I forgot what you asked.
Yeah, the fact that Nigerians, as they said, we are snobbish, we don't pick calls, we don't want to relate, that kind of a thing.
It's linked together. I will just say that in a very short. So it's very related to one another. You know, I've been there. Snobbish. It's not about being snobbish. It's about what the call is all about. Because if you calling, people call me, I've been, say I would say scam or be in that position. But when you call me and telling me a story about, oh, my dad is sick, he's in the hospital, they're going to do operation, and this, oh, how much is it? Oh, they need one. I'll send the money. Now calling back somebody else telling me like, oh, it was just in malaria. It wasn't even in the hospital. So what do you want me to do at that moment when I hear that you call to scam me? Do you think you call me the next time I will pick your call? No. So if we are playing a game like you want to do a kind of a scam with people here, then the people here we do. I think that's what is projecting that. At the same time, we work a lot. We don't have time.
Right. Yeah, I wanted to chip that in because sometimes, our time zone right now we are 7 hours. If you talk about
Yeah.
West Africa or Nigeria, 7 hours apart, time difference. And not only that, people are working in cycles. Let me ask you, speaking to you, it's just like we are in Ibadan or in
Yeah.
Ilesha or Ikiti or Lagos. You have been here 20 years.
And I just
Why are you
they
so, will I say you are so original? Why are you not speaking one-on-one?
wanna
I gotta.
anyway, I'm speaking to my when I'm speaking to my people like this, I want to reconnect. I want to just try as much as possible to
You're,
not lose that identity, not lose that. So I don't know how I do it, but I think like process thing like when I see people that look like me,
you try to
my
be original.
conscious mind will change to try to Yeah, because I know one time my dad was telling me like, man, the way you talk, you talk like you're proud. I said, man, I live in America. America talk like they're in control of everything. So if I talk like that, just look at it, oh, my son is American. Oh, but really,
That's
yeah,
interesting.
yeah. Say, oh, because last time you spoke, you just I said, okay, don't worry that. I know what I will do now. I will try to, when I see a Nigerian, I will try to talk that Yoruba, Nigerian, Ibadan, try stuff so that you guys not feel like I'm
You're
proud.
lost. All right. That's just to spice it up. Can we go to your domains now? What's your experience with Nigeria and Nigerians? Let me not limit it to Nigeria because this channel is Afrocentric. It's a global channel, but it's Afrocentric. We are representing the views and projecting ourselves out there. What has your experience been working with taxes? Because a lot of people know you for insurance and tax and healthcare insurance. Car insurance, healthcare, and tax. Now you've added mortgage.
Oh, how is it working with people with tax? Is that
Yes,
what
especially our own people. Or let me say our own people.
I would probably say like, tax, finances, I mean, investment, everything kind of linked
Sorry,
together.
sorry. Do people have the right information, or they come to you with some expectations that can be very outrageous? Or
I mean, that's where I'm going. Tax, all those stuff, they kind of link together. People always have expectation of something that they did not plan for. So I'm expecting to get huge money when it comes to reform. That is the expectation people have. Anytime they want to fight that, everybody always have like, oh, I have money, I want to get my reform. They start comparing. Now, tax is a little bit complex. Filing tax is from simple to a complexity. So, but people have this expectation like during the tax season, oh, I'm coming with a basket to come and carry all the dollars, 10,000, 20,000 refund, and do this. When they are up with dash, they feel disappointed.
what dashes their hope?
Yeah, it has to do with the tax planning. You see, one thing is to understand how the tax work, what the thing that you're supposed to do, because you cannot reverse what happened last year. Tax is about your record. When you file your tax, it's about the record of filing your previous financial record. Everything that you think you made income-wise, that is your filing. You have to report it. So what that their hope is like this something they cannot remedy. It can't be remedy anymore. It's been done. It's done deal. Now the only thing now is to now start finding something that will make you get what you probably do not qualify for. So now, what is those things that you want to start doing? A lot of lies about filing tax is that if you go on YouTube now, people are saying all kind of stuff about, oh, you claim this, you claim that, you can do this, and people are looking at all those stuff to say, oh yeah, I can claim this, I can do all kind of stuff to be able to get a refund. So for us as African, Nigerian, other African, tax season is about us trying to get money. Whereas for Americans, tax season is about not paying, not owing tax. See, now see the difference. The Americans are looking not to hold the government any tax. Anything that will show they are owing, that's what they will be fighting not to pay. They are not about getting a refund, not owing. I feel like I pay enough. I don't want to pay any excess. Anything you coming up with now, no. I want my tax to be zero. Don't give me anything. I'm fine, but I'm not going to be owing. That's
Do
what.
people get their fingers burnt? Sometimes some people, they have consultants that help them to front load some things, and does it come back to them? What's your experience in
A
that?
lot of time. I probably that is one thing I would probably say set me is kind of a separate professional to others. Because I have some people that are filing taxes for people right now that I've seen their paper in my office. When I look at all their preparation and I like it, and I'll ask the person, do you know what is prepared on your tax? And they will tell me, I don't know what the guy did. All I know is like, I got this, tell me this.
Amounts.
Okay, so your document, they loaded it with all kind of stuff, but you don't know what it is. You say, yeah, he just, my friend introduced me this and story. By the time I start analyzing it, I figure it out like, definitely you're going to get your hand burned, because whoever is doing that in the first place are not really worried about what we call audit. Because when you're doing tax, there is threshold. There is an audit threshold. There is something that is going to trigger an audit. And if you are loading your tax with things that is going to trigger audit, there's no way they're going to audit you. And mind you, IRS have the 7-year period of reviewing your tax. So that's why the law says you must keep your tax, your record for 7 years. So there's no excuse that I don't have the record again, because 7 years you keep your record. Because IRS can audit, can go back and examine, even though IRS always do 2-3 years, but they have liberty to go 7 years. So the question is this: if IRS should pick any of your taxes and they examine it and they see some error, what they need to do is to check the parallel and see whether it's consistent activities or is premeditated. You deliberately doing that to avoid paying tax. They audit you. Another thing I let people know is this: there is no one that is document has not been examined within the 7-year period. It's just a matter of what the IRS find on your record. They might find something to audit you. They might find something to just say, okay, it's minimal, let's move on. Because IRS really don't audit everybody, but every day they examine your paper. So people have got their hand burned from tax preparers that are not professional. That all what they care about is the money that are going into their own pocket, because the record of filing is on the taxpayer. If there's any error in your filing, it's you that is going to be responsible 100%, not the tax preparer. So people should be careful.
Okay. Right. What are the common mistakes people make in taxes? If you can help us with that briefly.
Okay. So there's some basic stuff that from the beginning, from the time you got a job, there are some things that we're supposed to have done. One of those is they ask for your filing status. People always have this feeling like, because I'm married right now, as I'm applying for a job, I say I'm married and filing jointly, which is allowed. I'm not saying don't do that. That is allowed. But then at the end of the year, by December of that year, they are no more married. So what happened to your tax filing? Because at that moment, you're going to file married separately. So what happened to your taxes at that time? Definitely, that person is going to be owing taxes based on the income. Now, I put it there based on the amount of the income, because if the income is also under the lower threshold of non-taxable, you will avoid paying tax. But if the income is already in a very different tax bracket, because they also have a tax bracket that people are not aware. Some people don't even look at that. So that is one error right there. Another error is claiming a dependent that you don't have, or dependent that you cannot put on your tax return when you are preparing it during the tax period. You don't have those dependent to claim, but you claiming them on your W-4. That's another error some people always make. Another error is people are working multiple jobs.
Wow.
So working multiple jobs is also going to affect your calculation. The tax bracket will change. Because if I work with company A, B, and C, and my income is not in the same tax bracket, it's going to be a problem at the end of the day. If you look at the tax bracket that we have, it starts from 10 up to 32 tax bracket. So your income, your tax bracket change based on your income. So, and not like you get taxed with one tax rate. So your income can have 3 different tax rates. From 0 to 10, no, to 11 is 10%. From 11 something to 47 for single is 12%.
Wow.
So from 47 to about 80 plus, that's another 22%. So your income, your tax bracket change based on your income. So it's always good for people to, what I always advise people to do is to more of conservative when it comes to their W4. Conservative means like if you are the one that work multiple jobs, if you are the one that are married and you know you're going to file your tax, probably you're thinking of filing your tax separately or jointly, then I always advise them to just do, just for your W4, put in there, filing separately. Then,
Okay.
right.
No, finish your thoughts, sir. Finish your thoughts.
So put in there, marry, filing separately, because that would be more conservative tax strategy. So put in there like that. If you have a dependent, just don't put your dependent on it at that moment, because you've got multiple jobs. You are not sure what your filing will be at the end of the year. So be more conservative with it so that the taxes will be deducted from your paycheck. And that way, it will reduce your owing, or it might even help you to get more refund back when you are trying to file your tax.
So people need to understand some fundamentals. They need to plan upfront from when they fill their W4, and also they are independent contractors. They should know the class of taxes, and they should actually understand the threshold of what their contributions will be in the year, and the selection they make, the the categories. Not waiting for the tax season.
Not waiting for tax season to now find out the errors, and that cannot be remedied at that moment. So that's when they now go to the level of loading it all with so many
desperation. Thank you. This interview will not be complete if I do not go into your auto and the insurance, health insurance part of it. We talk of tax.
That would be the tax.
All right. It means that I think okay, we'll manage the time. We have just like 9 minutes more, but let's see what we can squeeze in. What has been your experience? I know you mentioned something about a kind of encounter, an experience, a bad experience you had with helping somebody to get a car. I believe that's not the only one. All right, what's your experience with the expectation of our people as well when it comes to auto deals? Because some people cannot understand the categories of cars they are buying. Sometimes they see a very good car with good body, with nice engine. They probably will not know that that car could even be, something that is written off for a salvage vehicle, and they'll be comparing the prices and all those things. So, what's your experience in the auto sector? Yep.
Experience right now is, I think a little bit tense now. Before it was tough because of the COVID, there wasn't a new car being manufactured that much. So there was all these used cars that kind of gained market. So I think that's when these kind of fraudulent activities kind of rampant. People are selling an accident car, presenting like a newer version, clean title car, let's call it that way. So the experience I have with most people is like for a dealer have to know what kind of car they're putting on their lot. They need to have at least basic information, or go detail and find the exact information.
Sorry, how did you get into car dealership? I hate to interrupt when my guests are responding, but let me match that, because you're a financial expert. How did you get?
Okay, that one, I think I thought about that, because I thought I'm going to talk about that. The thing is, the car dealership stuff, as you said, is not my thing, because I have a friend that time that was actually doing the car dealership stuff. And he's been asking me, because I always follow him to junkyard, to all this stuff, even though I was doing my insurance. But I said, no, I don't have the time for this, because it's too time consuming. Go to junkyard all day, buying parts, go this, go that. I don't have time for that. I need to focus on my insurance. But along the line, if somebody else came to me, asked me for help, I'm good in dealership, can you help me? I can't do this thing, you get the store, I will manage it. I said, okay, I can do that. So we started the process. Along the line, found out like it's too much of financial resources needed. So I called another friend to join. So we end up doing this stuff. So when I did all that, this friend that I set up for ended up pulling out. He's no more interested. And I was like, man, I'm not planning to do car dealership. I set it up for you to run. Now that you say you're no more interested, and the thing is in my name and my other partner name, so we are two of us. And I said, okay, maybe it's time for me to learn. Now, my first concern is this. if the guy that, if my friend that called me the first time, plan that I'm doing cardiac, how is it going to feel? Because it wasn't my plan to go and do that stuff. I was doing it for a friend.
But
But,
now it is
but
a
at the end
strong
of the day, I
thing.
said, let me just start learning how to do this stuff. So along the line, another thing that happened is this. The reason why I get into other businesses, not because I wanted to do it. What I found out is this. People kind of have a bit trust in my judgment. So when they ask me about something, I'll refer them to people that I know that are doing this stuff. Then the experience when they come back and report to me wasn't pleasant. And I find out like, why is it that difficult for people to be, because everything they complain about, I find out is a small thing to do in a business. It's not difficult. Why are they difficult for them? Sending a client to you, losing it. So at the end of the day, I have to jump in there. I say, okay, let me just do it.
Right.
Let me
I
just
would
do it.
direct you back to the previous question so that you can quickly conclude your thoughts, your experience with the auto thing that, it's better now, but it was crazy around COVID. Can you conclude your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's really crazy around COVID. As I was saying, it's just a bad cars are full in the market at that time. And dealer people that don't know anything about buying cars, sometimes the title is not put into survey title. It's still clean title. Some people will call it like a clean title. By the time you run the check, probably with the insurance will let you know, oh, this car is total. So people already been scammed a lot especially during that COVID. And cars at that time was very, very expensive.
Mm,
At that time, especially used cars.
right.
Used car that is probably like 4,000, end up selling almost like 8,000 because there's scarcity of newer fashion at
At
that
that
time.
time.
Yeah.
But it's better now, right?
But the process right now, yeah, manufacturer are improved. Things are improved now, even though the car business is still a little bit up in price, but it's not as worse as it was in during the COVID.
All right. So let me squeeze some few things more. Now let's navigate to the insurance side. The insurance, car insurance, what's your experience on that, especially dealing with our people? And we want to squeeze a lot as much into the remaining minutes. So I'm going to extend the interview with 5 minutes, but um, yeah, the insurance thing, because ordinarily in Nigeria, we are used to liability insurance. We call it third party
Yeah,
over there. Here is
probably, yeah,
liability.
third
And you see
party,
people buying new cars here and, very, very
get the full
expensive
coverage.
cars. What's the experience like? If you can make them short answers, you get it. Yeah, what's your experience here? Because nobody wants to pay a lot of money, insuring a car because of what we are used to over there.
Yeah, the car insurance is more of a law thing. It's more of a government mandate stuff that if you have a car going to drive it on the road, you must have the state minimum with the liability insurance, which we refer to call third-party insurance back home. So everybody that put their car on the road must have a liability insurance. It's
Mm,
a statute from the state regulated insurance. So now prices are different, and there are a lot of things that make your premium different to others. Some are paying lower premium, some are paying high. But generally, right now in Texas, the insurance premium are already up
gone up.
because of the dynamics of the environment.
Right.
They are more risky. Texas seems to be more risky now, back to back disaster, hurricane, tornado. I mean, there's no tornado, what they call it, the hail damage.
Hail.
All those things kind of push up the premium for people. And also the influx of people from other states, especially from California, all those things kind of drag up the price. That's why the insurance. But the thing is, as much as people don't want to do insurance, the law is asking you to do it. So that means if you don't do it, if you don't have insurance, you get what? A ticket. So the ticket is in the amount of what? Almost the same thing you will have paid for the insurance for 6 months. The state will charge you the
Are
same
there
fee.
people driving around without insurance?
There are a bunch of people don't get this.
Really?
There are a bunch of people driving car around with no insurance. Don't see the thing I will tell people is when you get involved in an accident and you guys are exchanging insurance, for you to be sure that the person have a valid insurance, call the insurance right there before the person leave the scene. to make sure you confirm the policy is active. Because sometimes people have paper document in their hand that the policy has not been paid for. They don't pay the premium, and the pensioner will cancel the policy, and the claim is going to be denied. So having the paper with you walking around doesn't make it like the policy is active. That is it. Then another thing is like there are a bunch of fake insurance or other insurance that we call non-admitted. Insurance that is not going to work in your state. It's right there. Some people are even doing insurance. They live in a different state and they are doing insurance in another state. Like I said, insurance is regulated by state. Each state regulates their insurance. So that means insurance of New York is not going to work in Texas. May not work. Let me change that. May not work in Texas because there will be a condition for it to transfer to Texas. So your insurance work in your state of your residency. So where you say you live, that's where your insurance will work. So you must buy insurance in where you live, not another state.
Amazing. I want to touch on the area of the mortgage thing. I don't know how you're able to pack all these things into your head, but since you have a finance background, I don't think it's strange. What's your experience practicing in that mortgage process sector as a mortgage loan originator? Can you share your experience with us?
Yeah,
You're going to answer these questions in 2-3 minutes. That
okay.
one, and then I want to talk about the healthcare insurance as well.
Okay, so the mortgage stuff, I got my loan originator license sometime last year around, I think, May or June. That's when I got my license. But before then, I've worked, relate with people in the mortgage business. I've studied, I've read books, I have the knowledge about the mortgage. Even though when I do not have the license to originate loan, I have the basic knowledge about how it works. So if you compare the amount you pay for your rent right now, people are paying rent almost 2,000 plus. So if you look at that, and if you're able to get a mortgage, probably you pay additional 500 or 800, depend. So that is what is making people, pushing them to go and get mortgage. Even though if you look at their paper process, they might not qualify, they might not have ready to do it. But they look at it, if I'm already paying 2005 for my apartment, I must as well pay that for a mortgage that I owe.
That's right.
Yeah, it's a good place to start, but that is not the ultimate way of getting the mortgage. I know a lot of stuff happening in the mortgage process right now that people are doing, end of story, to qualify for it. But what I would say is this: people need to prepare, because after buying a house, you're going to get a shock. The shock is like your mortgage payment is going to be up than what you expect, and you don't have the income to support it. What happens? You start struggling, get another job, get a top job, add everything to it. Stress upon that. Don't just be like my friend Avi. My friend just bought a house, so me too, I'm going to get my own house. I mean, we should be able to evaluate ourselves very well before we jump into this big, gigantic financial.
Yeah, I know that mentality. That's going to be a good way to rest it today. I know that mentality of our people that, I mean, it looks basic and commonsensical that you're paying this amount for your rent. And if you add a little more, you can get a house, because people believe house ownership is the ultimate,
Yes, there's no doubt about that. It's ultimate. I know.
Yeah. Yeah, but then sometimes they do not factor some other things like what you're saying. I believe we're going to bring you back so that you can break it down on some other aspects for us. We have exceeded the time that we actually set up for this program, and I don't want to what's going to be your last words? If you want to chip in, maybe like 30 seconds, if you want to talk about retirement, healthcare insurance, can you squeeze all of these things? Because on our people's attitude to it, if you can do that in 1 minute.
Okay, retirement. I want people to plan for their retirement. Don't be that person that feel like the future will prepare himself for you. Take care of yourself for you. You need to plan for, at least for the minimum. Those people that are doing 1099 job, they don't have any contribution into social security, no basic retirement planning at all, something that will pay you when you retire. They need to consider that. They need to think about their future. Forget about that property or anything you think you have there. Anything can happen to all those stuff. They will go away. But you need to do something that at least guarantees some minimum payment. That's what I would advise people. If they need more information, they know where to find me.
Thank you for doing this for us. I was scared if we're not going to go over time. I think this last thing you said is important because our people are involved in Amazon delivery.
Yep.
They are involved in
Yep.
with DoorDash,
Others,
Grubhub,
other stuff.
Favor,
Yep.
which is good. I mean,
So you're
you
handling your money. You are eating
but there
everything.
is no
But
contribution
not,
to social
yep.
security.
Social
That
security.
is it. We'll pick it up from there next time. Thank you, viewers, for watching, and thank you, OMS, for being our support system, producing
Thank
this
you.
all our editions. Thank you, Mr. Dipo, for Akonji, for we invited you and you came on this program to share all those gold and nuggets with us. We really appreciate you. People, we have been supported by the technical crew of OMS Consulting, which is end-to-end consultants for social, for new media, and for anything communications, digital media. Please feel free to contact them. They'll flash their numbers on the screen. They just support us on this because for me, I have my daytime job, but because I have that kind of support, they help us to handle everything on our social media. They also have remote virtual support services. Sadipo, your last word, 1 second.
All right. Thank you, viewers. We appreciate you for being here, and we hope that you learn something and you're able to go along with something to benefit your life. Thank you. See you next time.
Absolutely. Thank you. Good way to end it. See you next time, viewer. See you on the next edition. You can look into our channels for all the interviews that we have had with other personalities, and I hope we hope you are learning and gaining something. Put your questions in the chat, engage us, and let's take it continue from there. Bye. See you on the next one. Bye. All right. JK, I think I already ended the Zoom. Mr. Adipo, hang in there. Sorry, JK. I think we already ended YouTube live, right? Let me check. Mr. Adipo, sorry. All right. JK, can you hear me? I'm not hearing your microphone. I know I ended the all right, just hang in there. Okay, I wanted to be sure that we were offline. JK, kí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀? Mi ò gbúròó ẹ̀. Hello, JK. Ah, Adipo. Wow, wow, thank you. You dropped some great things there. Let me end this meeting here to be sure that we are really offline. I'll call you right now.